this is happening, and that over there is happening. All of the tanks are tinted green. Hey YouTube, this is an update on what's going on currently. My 29-gallon tank here is green. That is because I have a fungus going around, and I have no idea where it could have started because unfortunately I shared the net from this 29-gallon tank and the 10-gallon tank, which is the shrimp and guppy tank. So I do disinfect the net in between water changes, and whenever I gotta service it, I don't know if I forgot to or what happened, but the fungus has spread from this tank to the other tank. I noticed some of the females had cotton looking growths on their fins, and two of them are pooping like stringy white poop. I don't know if you can see this. And her too. So that is what's going on. After I'm done with the fungal treatment, I'll go ahead and add the parasite formula that I mixed up. I'm going to put it in their food. Well, I thought about doing that, and then I realized that, okay, I have bristlenose plecos in here as well as Otis cinclus, so when you have anything parasitic, it's best to feed it to your fish rather than douse the aquarium itself, because parasites are internal. They can live inside of the aquarium, but they thrive inside of a body. So I think I'll just have to do both. I'll have to feed it to them, and I'll have to douse the aquarium. And more stringy white poop. I haven't noticed anything different with the bristlenose plecos. I absolutely have no experience keeping them, although I have lots of experience with Otis cinclus, and from what I find is when Otis cinclus gets sick, they tend to get pale. And I haven't seen anything unusual with the bristlenose plecos, but I'm going to go ahead and treat them as if they had the parasite as well. I tested negative for Colmenares worms from the tanks that I thought may have it, which is Stewart to the left. He's doing a little bit better. I'm going to give him a week off of meds and see what happens. To the right of him is his neighbor, Miss Rose. I had her tested as well as the substrate in her tank, and came back negative, so I'm happy it's not Colmenares worms, but it appears to just be fungal with those two. Well, she's not experiencing any symptoms, but just to be on the safe side, I'm going to keep his tank water pretty low so that I don't have a chance of contaminating her tank next to him. Because if I contaminate her, then this guy, everybody's going to get contaminated with something. So I don't use nets with those guys either, so. Or the bettas that are in the totes as well. I only use the nets in the big tanks, which big for me is the 29-gallon and the 10-gallon tanks. But like I said, I try my best to disinfect things, but you know, when you have a kid running around with a marker, Sharpie, drawing on the walls and screaming and all of that, sometimes you have to stop what you're doing, go tend to that, and then come back and you forget. So I believe that's what's happened, and hopefully I can get everybody well within the next 2 weeks. So this is the third water change since I noticed the fungus growth on one of the guppy females in here. She was covered in little white dots. I thought it might have been ick, but on closer inspection it looks more like it's cottonish looking. So I grabbed fungal cure. I mean, it'll do the same thing as ick cure does. So I did I want to say it's 75% water change. I gravel vacked too, and I added the medication. Now it's supposed to stay in here for 2 days, and then I'm supposed to change the water. I also added aquarium salt in here, and oddly enough it doesn't affect my snails, but I haven't seen any of my shrimp since the water change earlier today. They're probably hiding, I hope. Oh wait, I see one way in the back. Let's see if I can get him. Yeah, and he's going to hide behind the terracotta pot. But anyway, the medication doesn't seem to affect the shrimp. I only have like 4 left. But most of the guppies, this is day 2 since the medication was added. So most of the guppies look pretty well, clean bodies. Once in a while you see some with dots still on their tails. So like this guy, well, this female right here. So we're just gonna keep treating, see what happens. And I mean, more than likely the fungus started with the feeder guppies. I mean, they're not kept in the best conditions, so my guess is it came from them. I know it couldn't have come from my bristlenose plecos because they were looking completely fine. Those are the 2 newest fish that I have in here that are interacting with other fish. So I don't know. Possibly could have came from the feeder guppies. Yeah, for the most part, there's not much else I can do except dose medication and wait and see what happens. So far, all the other bettas, all the other tanks look fine. So it's not something in my water that I'm worried about. It's just the stupid mistake that a lot of us make in the hobby. I really need to get more nets and designate them to 1 tank, and possibly even do 1 bucket per tank as well. So thank you guys for watching. I will update later in the week. Hopefully everybody will be looking much better. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Speaking of plecos, my camera does them no justice.